Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the another episode of Love Relationships. Yesterday, we stopped on a point where we were told. We realized that we all are entrapped in our own programs. These programs that are made since childhood, maybe since past lives, and through this society, through parents, through whatnot. And we had a good news that we have a way out of this, and there are methods we can undo these programs and live a new life altogether, new relationships altogether, by changing ourselves and not the other person. So we have Kevin here again to guide us through these methods. And so over to you, Kevin. Please guide us on relationships again.
Yes. Thank you so much. So I appreciate your patience to be in this process and let this conversation happens. You provide this space, and thanks to you. If we start from a briefly about our yesterday conversation, we mentioned this fact that we are not only this physical body, we have another layers of body around this body that we call them invisible bodies. And that invisible bodies mainly includes our mental body, emotional body, erotic body, and a spirit body or universal body. And each of these bodies are active. They are recording some information in themselves. Our emotional body records all the emotions that we experience from our childhood. Even the emotion of our previous generation is active in this emotional body. We have in our mental body, we have all the memories, information that we receive from the first day of our life. Even when we were in the womb of our mothers, our invisible bodies was getting programmed.
So the cellular memory is
One of the way that one of also the our levels of our bodies is more related to this physical body.
okay.
And then how we face the sexual taboos, how we experience our erotic energy. Also, it affects our erotic body, the flow of energy, life force energy in our body. And then we have the soul body, a spirit body that has the memories of the previous life, the effects of the previous life. And we mentioned that when we start to communicate with everybody, even now that you and I, we are sitting here, not only our words and our body language are communicating with each other. It's not only this. We are communicating in a multi-dimensional level. Our erotic body, our emotional body, mental body, spirit body, they are all communicating with each other. And the main reason and the main issue that couples experience in the term of relationship, in the course of love relationship, is that when they go to a deep interact with each other, what is the truth that is recorded in their invisible bodies expose each other. And it can create a repulsive energy when it is not positive, when the couples, they didn't spend time to purify and beautify their invisible bodies. So we as a human beings, our ego wants to be smart, and we know how to pretend that I am cool, I am positive, I am okay with everything. We know how to lead our body language, our words, to somehow influence each other, to hide or to look different. But the point is that because our invisible bodies, they cannot say lie.
Yeah.
They are very truthful.
Yeah.
Just after spend a little time, they expose to each other how really they feel, for example, about femininity, about masculinity, about love relationship, about sexuality, about any aspects of life. They express the truth of me to you, for example. And then how much you feel good about me eventually is not dependent on how I act
Or what you
physically
say. Yeah.
or what I say.
Yeah.
I could say to my love partner many times, I love you, or do very nice acts to please her. But when, if my invisible bodies, they have not programmed, or they don't have a good memories about femininity, if they don't have good attitudes, then after a while, although I am doing very good things to my girlfriends, I say nice things, but she will feel that something is missing. I could not touch the deeper level of her, and this is the beginning of she feel wrong, or she feel cold in this relationship. This is one of the I believe that this is a main issue in the relationship, in the life of people. Even those who are not able to attract a love partner, their invisible bodies has a defense system, or is closed, and cannot radiate that energy to be attractive, to call the invisible body of somebody else and create first of all a relationship beyond this physical
In
appearances.
fact, there are blocks, I suppose.
Yes.
If they are blocking the welcoming of.
Yes, yes, you said very well. Yes. So what we want to do is a way of working to purify and beautify our invisible bodies. And when this happens, we are open to radiate beauty to the world. As we said this morning, that to be attractive, to be beautiful, to be amazing, you don't need to do anything, because already you are. You are need only remove what is hiding your radiation, your divine radiation. In this morning also we mentioned to this Michelangelo example, that somebody asked Michelangelo how you make a statue, angel statue from a piece of stone, and he said that I never do this. I never made a statue of angel. I just when see a piece of stone, I see the angel, the statue of angel inside the stone, and my job is only to remove what is hiding the angel in that stone. And it is about every of us. We have lots of beautiful things. Is our infinite nature. It comes from our integrity and divinity. But in the course of life, we get a little close or defensive, or not positive enough to radiate this beauty to the worlds.
Yeah.
And when we go to do anything, before we enter, our invisible bodies is starting communication and is telling to others who truly we are. What I said here, I know that is a little uncomforting for people, because we don't like to be naked. We don't want to see that our invisible bodies are naked and they express our truth. We human beings like to always pretend something in a different way, right? So I know that because of this, many people forget this fact that I said here. And however, sooner or late, when they go to the course of relationship, or when they see that why they cannot attract people in their life, um, they will remember this fact, and this is the moment that often they come to ask, okay, now what to do, how to overcome this limitation that we are carry about our true nature. um, yes, this is a briefly of all this message that I would like to share with the world, and I believe that all of us, we are living the same boat, and to create a greater life, we need to start from our inner work. We must become the change that we want to see to the world. My message was, as also yesterday evening we talked, that the life don't give you what you want. The life gives you what you are. How you are is a definition that come out from your invisible bodies. How you are in your invisible layers of your body, in your mental body, in your physical body, and in your appearances. All of them together gives you equally as you are. So we need to work on who we are, and then just in this case we radiate a greater version of ourselves to the world. And when we all do this, we create a greater level of connection. What it is what our words need now, actually. Sorry, I talk a lot.
No, you talk wonderful, actually. So, Kevin, you just said that it is uncomfortable to know, or to know the naked ourselves, that we have these qualities. I mean, there is a stored negativity in us, right? So, acceptance or knowing, just being aware of these things being there, it is not our mistake that they are there. We didn't create it, or we did create, but it was out of some probably trauma, or probably some kind of incident where we were unconscious and we created it. But right now, being just conscious about these things being there is like problem half diagnosed.
Yes.
Right? Is like problem half diagnosed. Accepting that they are there, and they are the reason behind what we are facing today. Okay, not the other person, but the program stored inside are the reason behind. So knowing them, they are there, accepting and taking a positive step towards undoing them. That is, I feel, is the gist of what conversation we had.
Exactly.
Now, right. So I have a couple of questions from audience today. On behalf of them, I'll be asking you their questions. We'll be very glad to know answers from you. So this question comes from one of the a lady who says, I judge myself a lot. I feel I'm not good enough. I keep contemplating on how to please my partner, and how do I make him more attached to me? How do I keep him, uh, with me
Yes.
in a good bond? So this is a question.
Yes, this is I know that all of us, we have a level of self-judge, and we always think that how the people think about us. And when we start to think like this, we create a little tension. We radiate a lower vibration when we start to self-judge, and also somehow indirectly, through our invisible bodies, we invite the people to judge us. We radiate this sensation that, what, I am not sure about myself, about how I am, and then
So should you be?
yes, in our through our body language, through our way that we wear dress or talk, maybe we can till some level pretend that I am amazing, I feel good, but actually how really you are feeling in your invisible bodies, finally or eventually influence the body of who are in contact with you, and they feel your truth. And this is very good. I want to add that this is very good that the truth of ourself is not hidden. The truth that we have in our invisible body is not hidden.
It cannot be hidden actually.
And is good that is not hidden, because good or bad, whatever that it is, it will be reflected to the world. You see the consequence of this reflection, and then we have a chance to do work more on ourselves. If because our ego has the tendency to cover everything. If ego could cover our invisible bodies, then we could not express our true self, our blockages, our unsolved feelings, also our talents, our positive things.
Evolve.
Yes, when we express, we see the truth of ourselves, we can work on it.
Yes.
Which part of me is beautiful and let me shine? Which part of my invisible bodies are not developed enough, so I can work on them? So then when we reach to such a this question,